time to come up, especially the deeper down you are, the longer it's going to take you to ascend. So you don't want to run out of air. So you need to come up in plenty of time. And you also need to divers need to be aware of their surroundings. And when they're descending or ascending, they need to clear their ears very often. And this is very important. And clearing your ears just means like popping your ears, like if you've ever flown in a plane, like your ears will pop. And this is important because if you have sinus infections or sinus problems and you start going down, you can't go more than maybe 10 feet without feeling excruciating pain if your ears won't clear. And if that does start happening, then you don't need to go any further. And divers do not need to surface rapidly because air bubbles can, if they don't clear their ears in time, air bubbles can get in their ears and this can cause hearing loss and a bunch of problems with their eardrums. And also if they surface too rapidly, they can get what's called the bends. And according to an article in the Sports Diver magazine, the bends is one of the most serious and dangerous things that can happen to divers. And this is when they come up too fast and the gases in their body, like the hydrogen and stuff, doesn't have time to do what it's supposed to do, and little bubbles form all in their tissue and all in their body. And this is very dangerous. There's several serious side effects. They have intense pain and rashes, and they can become paralyzed. They can have brain damage, memory loss, and it can even result in death. Training. All divers begin training in a swimming pool, and after weeks and weeks of training in swimming pools, they're all saying they're okay right here, but after weeks of training in swimming pools, they have to take written exams that they have to pass before they can become certified. With all this equipment on, it's really hard to walk, and it's really easy to trip over these bends. So every diver will walk backwards when they have all this stuff on. And to get into the water, they'll just jump with one giant step and step down off the boat or off the dock. Now I'm going to talk about some of my personal experiences. And I have some stuff that I actually found when on these trips, so I'm going to pass this around so y'all can see it. Just be careful. Some of it's kind of fragile. You can get it out and get it or whatever. This is a place called Jenny Springs, and it's in Florida. And you see it, and you're like, oh, you know, it's out in the middle of the woods. It kind of just looks like a little pond that's really blue. But down in there, at the bottom, there's this cave. And it opens up, and it's like really big, and you can swim back in this cave, and it's dark. If you have to have lights, it's completely pitch black dark. Go to the next slide, please. And here you can see, this is pictures of the cave. And some parts of the cave get really narrow and tight. There's tight places, and I remember in some parts of the cave, I was like crawling on the floor of the thing, and like my air tank on the back was scraping the rocks above me, like it was that tight, like you just had to squeeze through it. And then you go back in the cave for a really long time, and when you get to the end, there's this hole in these rocks, and it's got bars. It's kind of like a gate, and you can't go any further than that. But you can swim up to it, and you can like hold on to the bars, and the water's coming straight out of the mountain, and it's coming out like really hard, and it'll like blow you back. Like you have to like hold on to it. It's pretty cool. All right, so go ahead. The next place I went was this place called Devil's Den. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. And they take you, and you're walking through this trail. And you think you're just going out in the woods, and then all of a sudden, there's this big hole in the ground. And it's just like a big sinkhole or something. And there's a staircase going down into it. And it's very narrow stairs, wooden stairs. It's kind of sketchy. But as you can see in these pictures, and then at the bottom of the staircase is the dock, and there's more steps going into the water. But once you get down in there, it opens up, and it's really big. And it's really dark down in there, but I went diving there, and we had to have lights there too, and that's where I found most of the stuff that I'm showing you all. But in this place, you would be swimming around, and there would be fish like bigger than you are, big, huge, like black fish just swimming by you all the time. It was pretty scary, but it was fun. All right, next. And then I went to this place called Manatee Springs, and this is also another place in Florida. And this was like a big, huge lake, but see, we all got on a pontoon boat, and we went and we parked like in this little cove. And then all the divers got out, and there was a gap in between like the cove, and it was kind of looked like it was going into the bank. And it was a gap, and it was just about 3 foot wide, so only one person could go through it at a time. and it was long. It was like as long as this room, and you would swim through the gap, but it was completely clear. All the water was clear, and it was really deep. And you would have to swim through this gap, and the water would be, it was like a stream or like a river, and it would be coming like really hard. So it was kind of hard to swim up this gap. But once you made it, it opened up, and it was like a pond, and it was all clear, and there was fish everywhere, and there was manatees, and there was a mother manatee, and she had her baby with her. And me and one of my friends actually went up to one, and it swam by, and we just held out our hands like this, and it swam by like the whole entire way. Like we got to pet it. And they're wild, like they're not used to humans, they're out in the wild. And this was also really deep, but you could see straight down to the bottom. And at the bottom, it was kind of like a cone, and it went to a point at the bottom, and we swam down to the point, and you could put your hands on it, and you could feel, it was like little pebbles and stuff down there, and you could feel the water just coming up from the ground, but it wasn't like a hole like in the mountain like Jenny Springs. It just looked like if you hadn't gone down there and put your hands there, you wouldn't have been able to tell. But I thought that was really interesting. Next slide. And that's all I have for you today, so thank you. Oh, sorry, one more thing. And I got my diver certification with Smoky Mountain Divers, which is in Kingsport, and this is the t-shirts that we all got. Everybody had matching t-shirts, and it says Got Water, and this is the official like flag or sign of the scuba divers. So this was another PADI organization. So thank you.